Turned it back on.
All right. All right, the time is 6:44 p.m. on January 30th. At this time, we will commence the monthly HOA board meeting. I am present. Same people are present from last one. Myself, Kevin Schmidt, Henry's online, Thomas is in the room. Scott is present, and the actual
Jeff,
Patty, we need to, in the future, we need to update the
agenda.
agenda. Yeah, it's got the wrong names on it. The gnat keeps flying around.
Oh, that's what happens when you draw flies.
Apparently. All right, calling to order. We've got quorum, president's report. I have nothing to report this evening. Treasurer, do you want to talk about the monthlies?
Yeah, from the December monthly, there are some expenses that exceeded what was initially planned, but those are some of the end of the year things that were kind of pushed off to make sure we had enough money in the coffers to pay for those things that were required. And then there was a pretty significant painting effort that happened and hit the budget, and that was in yeah, but they finally went through in December. So if somebody's looking at it from month to month, there is a spike, but those are expenses that were kind of forced based on hurricanes and enough to wait for.
All right.
That's it.
Anything else, Treasurer? Is that it?
That's it.
All right, sounds good. How we doing on I mean, put you on the spot, but so, I mean, we're only a month in, so it's not, I don't know if it's entirely fair to ask, but where are we compared to how much money we should have versus how much we do have?
So it's hard to look at that. The bookkeepers don't finish January. They won't finish January until
Okay.
about the 15th of next month. We can look at it in general, we're gonna be higher this year, obviously, because expenses went up or assessments went up for everybody. So the numbers are higher. I don't know from a percentage basis point how many that has fluctuated or changed. We take note that there are homeowners that had issues with the accounting software, and there was double billets and there was refunds, and there's a lot of fluctuation. So any homeowners that's listening, please let us know if there's an issue with your bill. Please look in at Folio so that we can address it and make sure that it's either carried to future expenses or you can get your refund as necessary.
All right, thanks, sir. Let's move on to community manager's report.
You gonna read for me?
Would you like to read?
I'll read.
All right.
Thank you.
Gonna make up for lost time.
There.
Let's see, Pool Troopers quote and repair. Feature pump replacement. Pool Troopers has provided a quote for the replacement of the feature pump at a cost of $1,484.46. This pump is responsible for pushing the water through the zero entry feature. However, it is important to note that the pump's failure does not affect the pool's water circulation or filtration. So this is for the splash pad. Its impact is purely cosmetic. The board must decide whether to proceed with this repair, considering the feature is slated for removal by the end of the year. So we'll talk about that later in the meeting, I'm assuming. Completed repairs. Pool Troopers has completed several necessary repairs as per the county's recent inspection and ensuring proper flow rate for the pool. These repairs were critical to maintain the filtration levels and preventing water overflow when pumping with a hose. The following invoices pertain to that completed work. There are two invoices listed, number 2117547 and number 73022-1. Stockholm Law Group. The proposal for legal representation from the Stockholm Law Group includes a noted increase in their hourly rates. The board should review and approve this change to continue legal services. So we'll look at that later in the meeting. Ratification of audit firm. The audit firm has been selected and requires ratification from the board for current audit period. Again, something we'll talk about. Tree stump removal. All tree stumps have been removed as part of the ongoing property maintenance. This will help improve the landscaping and prevent any potential safety hazards. Some of the stumps in the wooded areas have not been removed due to location and cost. They're far enough back not to be a hazard and do not have pedestrian, and we do not have pedestrian access to them. The cost for these were over $1,000 and management chose not to move forward with them. The GEM golf cart update. This is the golf cart that we use for our security folks. Among other things, the gem cart has been repaired and is now running smoothly. Both the front and back brakes were replaced with rotors also needed in the front. New headlights and batteries have been installed. The security team has noted a significant improvement in the car's performance and expressed their gratitude for having a well-functioning vehicle to assist with safety patrols. There have been times when our security folks have had to push the thing back here. So this is a much needed and appreciated upgrade. Let's see. Sandpiper update, landscaping progress. The bushes in the corner of the property have been successfully planted and are thriving. This area is well-known, well-maintained, is now well-maintained and contributes positively to the overall aesthetics of the property. Sagewood, tree stump removal. All tree stumps have been removed as part of the ongoing property maintenance. This will help improve landscaping and prevent any potential safety hazard. Paired villas, no updates. There are no current updates for the paired villas at this time, as well as the Westlake. There are no current updates for them at this time. And that ends the notes.
Thank you, Patty and Kevin.
Thank you.
Next, violations, meeting minutes, and finding committee updates. Let's see, the finding committee had their meeting on January 14th. Their minutes are for review in the board packet for board members. We have some new violations that have received their first and second notice. I noticed that final issue notice has not been issued, so there is no vote to send these to finding committee yet. Is that correct, Johnson?
I just sent final notices out, so yes, there should be the packet that, yes, those, I just sent final notices on the 29th. So
Okay.
those
so-
all need to, all but the last one, I believe. The last home on the list has taken care of that issue, so,
The discolored
Yes.
home issue?
yes,
Okay. So final notice was sent
on the 29th,
on the 29th, so yesterday.
yes.
Okay. So do we vote to send the finding committee now, or I feel like that's the next month thing?
Mm.
No, now, since final notice is,
It's the time that we have to send it versus.
Okay, very well. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 to vote to send to the finding committee. We have weeds and landscaping, a street tree that needs to be repaired, vehicle, what is that?
Parked vehicle that's sitting there without proper registration, that's been sitting there for months and months and months.
So dead car.
Okay. Lawn maintenance. And the street tree, and then bare spots in lawn, and then brown areas, and so a bunch of landscaping things, and the vehicle on the property.
It's across the street from the property,
In park where,
next to the pool.
next to the pool, okay, is it on the street or is it in a parking spot?
It's any parking spot.
In a parking spot, so.
Of the pool.
Mhm. Not in the parking area of the pool, but along the street parking along the pool.
I see,
So still can't be parked there
Expired tag.
without, with an expired tag, you can't be on the street by county rules either.
Right, so why don't we just have it towed?
Well, we can give them an opportunity to move it first by sending them the fine instead of sending them tow. Because if we have it in his, that would be a county thing. We can't.
I feel like that goes right with your
Public
bush,
street.
your sharp bush thing, though.
Pardon?
Kind of goes along with your sharp bush thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think necessarily towing the car right away.
Mhm.
I think giving them the chance to get it up to code and get it moved, but it can't be parked on the street. That's a county thing. That's not an
Yeah.
HOA thing. You have to have tags on your car to park it on the street.
yeah,
And
They
it's
can
not,
be ticketed by the cops for having expired registration, but HOA can't ticket it.
are there tags on the car?
Yeah, they're expired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I don't know, this is a discussion point.
if you want to, sure.
Okay, yeah, it seems weird that we would try to find somebody on the property. Technically, it's not the HOA property, right? Is it CDD county
I think
owned?
it's probably CDD parking spot.
So like, it'd be weird for me to say, let's audit it or charge them money, then we don't even own it, because then we would use the same argument to not fix the sidewalk, right? Like, it's not our jurisdiction.
So let's do this, Patty, on the vehicle parked on the street, work with the CDD and the county
Mhm.
to get that resolved, since it's contentious. On the other ones,
The other ones I'll call,
Yeah.
I think within our
1,
purview.
2,
Yeah,
3,
agreed.
4, 5, 6. So on the other 6, I vote to send them to the finding committee with $100 a day fine up to $1,000. Is there a second?
I'll say. Very good.
Any discussion?
No, I think we just did that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Wonderful. Meeting minutes for December 19th. Motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 19th. Is there a second
I'll second.
discussion? Anybody see any issues? I read through them. I didn't see any glaring problems. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries, minutes approved.
Okay.
Let's see, violations, committee reports, we have no report right now from the finance committee or the social committee, we approved the minutes, new business. All right, moving on to the master for new business.
The quote 72911-1.
Seven, all right, so we're looking at quote 72911
Mhm.
-1. This is for
Pool troopers. This is for the pool motor pump.
the pool motor. So this is for the kiddie pool,
Yes.
but we need a pump anyways.
Well, no, the pump, this just sprays the water out of the features. That's all this does.
Okay,
Does it spray it onto the plastic, or is this, the reason I
You're
asked
talking
is
about the
like,
top
as it gets
thing?
super hot? Like, is this what cools it down, or is this
Yeah.
what just shoots it off into the water?
It's full. It's that one pipe that goes up.
Yeah, it feeds the entire,
Yeah,
what's
okay.
left of there.
But like kids can't touch it though. It's all the way at the top.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if that's what cools down the plastic that just sits there and bakes all day.
It does.
It does, it splashes onto the
Yeah.
slide and all that stuff, so,
Mhm.
I mean. Yeah, it's $1,484.46 to replace the pump. We're
so
gonna have to replace it either way,
Right.
whether we do it now or
Yeah.
we do it in 9
Agreed.
months, but to
Yeah.
your point, you're gonna get kids who get up with burnt legs and feet.
Yeah,
is this pump, this is sufficient amount of pump to power a new pool
Yeah.
feature?
Mhm.
You double check.
Oh, the pump? No, we're getting all that equipment's gone. So we're not
So when we
gonna
get the pirate ship, we're getting all new pumps and everything like that. Okay, but we still gotta make it through the summer.
Yeah.
We can't just leave it, get in a
Yeah.
dilapidated state
use it. That's
between
all
now
they
and,
want.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
makes sense.
Motion to approve $1,484.46 to fix our pool pump motor. Is there a second?
One second.
Treasurer seconds it. Treasurer, we have the money in the master for that?
Yeah.
Okay,
$1,484.
Yep.
okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. The next one. Motion to approve $764.74 for,
This is ratification.
this is some safety things, right? White safety grate and some other things. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Scott seconds it. Discussion?
Well, it's a safety thing, they have to do it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. The next motion on the table is the pool troopers. It's a motion to approve $1,158.73. This is a feeder rate control with shaft, quick pro pump head and a buoy holder.
We need to have the buoy holder for the safety issue, that's basically the
Yeah.
life ring.
So motion to approve, is there a second?
Second,
Second, Kevin seconds, discussion. Patty, do you want to explain this?
So the feed rate is actually what lets the water go into the pool, so this way we don't have to leave a hose on all the time, so it overflows full like we've done 2 other times.
Yes, we don't want to overflow.
We don't.
That's really annoying.
Again, we,
Line.
we want the flowers that we, so we
Yeah.
don't do it better.
All right.
don't kill.
So,
Any other discussion? No, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope.
None opposed, motion carries. All right, the next thing is Stockham Law Group is increasing their rates. They've never increased their rates on us. We've had them for years and years. So they're increasing their rate to $2.75 per hour. They were what, $2.25, $2.50, something like that?
250.
$2.50, so they're increasing another $25 an hour. I would motion to retain Stockham Law Group at their new hourly rate. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Does anybody want to talk about it?
No, they do a good job.
They did.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Next thing to discuss is Excel CPA and Associates. This is the company that we're going to hire in order to do the audit of our books. It's great to have a second company. So, we have the bookkeepers, and then we have the accountant that does our taxes, and then Excel, which audits everybody. So.
They can, in the quote, they can do our taxes after they do the audit.
Yeah, which is cool.
Wonderful.
Now,
And go
the
backwards.
bookkeepers can't be the auditors, obviously, and we are required by Florida law to have an audit because we have so many funds anyway. So the audit we have to do,
Right. Oh, it has to be done by April 31st, is it?
according to our bylaws, yes.
Okay.
And there shouldn't be a problem from what Excel has already told us.
Yeah.
Motion to approve Excel CPA and Associates as our auditor. Is there a second?
I'll give it the second.
Scott seconds, thank you. Any further discussion or questions? Just so you know, Patty put this out to bid for 5 different companies.
Yeah,
Only 2 were interested. And
Well, I can't-
So we had 6 total. One say, yeah, I can do it, but it'll probably be August before I get to it. 2 actually gave us real proposals, and I have pros or cons, so I can just lay it out there when I send an email to the board, but so everybody's on the same page. One of them is a top 10 law firm in the US, large company, but out of the 6, they're the only one that didn't ask for any financials. They just threw a number out there. They didn't ask any questions. They didn't ask to see, like, do we have 5 subdivisions, all that kind of stuff. So there were some concerns on our side on do they even know what they're getting into, and they're gonna hit us with a higher bid later.
yeah.
They were also a little bit higher. They were $10,750 for the 1 year. A sell, the one that we are recommending we go with, was approximately 10,000. But he looked at our books and he understands he has to go back and look at some of the 2023 numbers to correct those according to the audit of 2024. That is built into the price already.
Yeah.
So we're expecting that that's gonna happen with the other firm if we go with them anyway. So I didn't want it to end up being $21,000 quickly. So
Yeah.
that's kind of why our recommendation is.
And just to add one thing too, is we'll have a direct one-on-one relationship with the new company, where the company he's talking about before, the large company. We would be talking through somebody to somebody else, so we have a direct contact in both.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
All right. Any other discussion? So just to rehash, the motion was to approve Excel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Not opposed, motion carries. Next issue is Exhibit D, pair of villas to replace a pygmy date palm for $254.70. I motion to replace the pygmy date, what?
So the homeowner actually put a different tree in there. He's selling his house. He put in a, horticulturist. He switched it, his landscaper, he switched it, so we're gonna pull this actually from the agenda.
I'm sorry, there was a palm in there.
Mhm.
The resident put a carcass in there.
In place, yep, he actually paid for the palm originally, and Sunrise planted it for us 6-8 months ago, right? And it died. We didn't know why it died. No, we do know why it died. It died because he turned off his water when he went out of town.
So he killed the tree.
But now we replace it.
But he's fixed it, so we can pull
We
it
don't
off.
have to worry about
Yeah.
him anymore.
Hold on. He replaced the palm.
He
With a-
replaced the bush with the palm. Right, wasn't there a bush there first? It wasn't, that's what he just put in now, in the last couple of days.
The tree.
I forget because they had it out when I first went to look at it, there was something in there, a small little tree, I don't know if it was still
Right.
was, but they had removed it, he purchased it, and we.
And so-
God bless you.
Thank you, because the homeowner purchased the palm originally, because whatever was there, and I can't remember.
Oh, okay, so he originally put in the palm tree. Cause he wanted a palm tree,
He wanted a palm tree.
and then the palm tree died,
Cause you didn't water it.
and then he's like, all right, I'll just put in a podocarpus, cause that'll live forever.
Right.
And so now it's got a podocarpus at the homeowner's expense, and so this motion is OBD, we don't have to.
Right, exactly,
Wonderful. Okay,
but.
that's it for new, what?
There's always a
Not
bond.
not that easy, you know. Me. So I have a couple other things from Sunrise that I'm gonna give you some updates.
Okay,
Jesse, you wanna talk about the fun updates that we have?
Oh, the LQAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Scott sees this, Scott is now become the,
excellent.
So this is just to give an idea of the kind of communication that I have with the crews.
Would you please come forward so your voice picks up on her? Yeah. You can sit at the table or stand next to us or.
So, these LQAs, landscape quality audits, it's just to show you an example of what I, have for communication with the crews. I can also supply this, on your end, in terms of, progress and any issues I find, but this is typically just to show communication that I have in direction with the crews. something like this gets sent to the maintenance crew, the mowing crew, as well as horticulture. You'll see there are things highlighted in yellow, that's for the mowing crew. And then there are things highlighted in green, which typically go to my horticulture team. So this is just something that, you know, I do on a regular basis as I'm cruising through the community,
It's amazing.
keeping tabs on things.
This
And then I
is what
circle
Jessie
back.
sees now that I see, this is all stuff she sees on the one. So it's,
So I just want to be a little bit more, you know, proactive as much as we can, especially now that we're in the drier season.
Yeah.
This is the time where we're seeing pests come through and, you know, we can get ahead of these things, so. And I do circle back with my team just to make sure these items are taken care of, usually like this time of year, a week or two, just because of the cadence of the off season. But typically, you know, I would allow, you know, about that time, that most issues should be solved. But I just wanted to show you guys that. I'll do my best to show you when they're scheduled for.
right,
Sometimes it's not exact, like last week, this was scheduled for Wednesday, and then
Right.
because of all the rain, it got pushed a couple of days. But just to give you an idea, you know, kind of the inner workings in the back,
Mhm.
kind of the background of Sunrise, so, yep, I'll circle back with Patty just to show, you know, what was found. Typically I get responses with my team, so I'll let you guys know as I find them, but I just want to show you guys that.
Thank you, that's great.
Yeah, and we've been discussing how we're gonna communicate that out too, some more to come with that.
Okay.
so we'll start doing like before and after,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then we have
been posted in the community.
the new plants that are hopefully coming, oh, we have one. So as soon as, well, you want to talk about the new plantings, beautification stuff.
The beautification, oh, like everything that was approved
Mhm.
in December, so I held off on a lot of the enhancements that were approved in December, just because of the cold temps that we were experiencing. Once I see more
Great idea.
consistent, huh?
That was a great idea.
Yeah.
too.
I want to protect your friends.
That's amazing.
Nobody wants to be chasing after, you know, dead plants and figure out what happened. It typically, January, as we know, it can be pretty volatile, so I don't want to play any games in terms of cold temps and damage, so I've been holding off. Once I see more consistent, warmer temps over a couple of weeks as things start to warm up, and it's not as, you know, susceptible to changes as much, then we can move forward with some of the enhancements, but we did put in the viburnum hedge. It looks pretty nice. I've been in communication with Ballinger just to make sure it's getting adequate water.
Except there's one that needs,
So there's one this one looked okay at the time of assessment,
yeah.
but you can tell it's right at the end where the fence line is.
So
And
is
I'm
it-
wondering,
Hmm.
Oh.
people are still cutting through it.
It's not, so just to be clear, that is one that was existing, that looked good.
Yeah.
Not one of the new ones, this is an old one that we repurposed.
And you
right?
can tell because there's Spanish moss and air plants attached to the branches, which indicates it's an older plant. It's been there a while. So it looked okay.
So they found another place to cut by next to the fence.
And you can see it's right where the fence line is. I'm not saying that's definitely what happened because I don't have a camera to
Right.
check. But I mean,
It's a logical assumption.
it's kind of weird that it's right in that spot and everything else was filled in very nicely.
What about one holly bush? No.
A really spiny one.
Just one. Let me have one holly.
Yeah.
Like a test.
So what's the recommendation here?
I mean, we could just put another one, see how it goes.
Yeah. Is that-
Could put something.
Can we get if we're gonna replace it, could we replace it with a more robust, fuller one, so it's harder to get around?
And you can see the difference of the newer ones with some of like, the older, like, they're very full.
Yeah,
So we can do our best. I can specify from my source, the fullest that we can possibly get, just to visually and physically deter people from coming through. I think people might have seen an opportunity in this because it was a little bit, maybe the cold temps thinned it out a little bit more. I'm not sure. But I can certainly specify with
Yeah.
the vendor just to make sure it's like as full as possible.
try just to fill that hole as much as we can.
Yeah, and the ones that came in, I mean, they're like 5 feet. This one's probably gonna be like 4.5, 5 feet. So
Okay.
we'll do our best to make sure it's as full as possible.
Cool.
With electric flag wall.
Unless you have any other recommendations, unless you really.
Mark will let me have a holly bush.
I know, I mean,
I think you guys are.
Knock out rose bushes.
Yeah,
those ones too.
$5.79.
Yeah, all levity aside, $600 for one plant.
so it's in ratio with the rest of the project. Because the
Hmm.
rest of the project, I think it's like 14 in total. There were-
It's big plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, So that's about in ratio with the rest of the project. How the rest of the project was. I did my best to stay in line with that pricing, just to make it fair. And that's just about what it would have
When you put
been.
in a smaller bush, it's just gonna end up getting
Yeah.
killed again.
Do we want to put in any, Patty, how, didn't we approve to extend the fence line even further?
Throughout the year, yeah,
When's that gonna happen?
since we have enough money.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So,
What if we put up like, some caution tape and a couple of like 2x2s, just to,
No.
like, just for a month or so, so it can get rooted while it's ground under repair?
Maybe.
Like, it doesn't need to stay there permanently, but just,
Like
to-
nursery ribbon or something.
yeah,
just like
something to just, you
rope
know,
it off.
ground under repair, just another visual cue, like, don't go through here.
Mark, you don't.
No, I have no Constantine. Triple stand Constantine.
I mean, we can certainly put some sort of caution tape up if you
Yeah.
want.
I'm just
Yeah.
thinking another visual cue to let people know, like, not to go through.
All right, we can try it.
So for the
All right,
landmark.
motion to approve 500, was it $579.62,
73 cents.
73 cents?
So we make sure the water's good before we put the new plant in.
yes,
Yes.
then we actually just
Yep.
had it turned up.
Okay.
Yep.
Center our third.
And I wanted to make sure, they don't like wet feet. And so I wanted to make sure right out of the get-go, before they had roots established, I didn't want it to be completely soaked. Because then it would cause root rot.
Mhm.
So I have worked with Michael to increase a little bit more now. That's been in a few weeks. It's had time to acclimate, especially with the cold temps. That actually hasn't really shown any damage. So I think they're running 30 minutes a day now.
Yeah, I think you just moved it. up to
Yeah,
51
every
today.
day.
Mhm.
So, and he confirmed there are no drip line damages.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Along the route.
He was
So-
there when they put them in. He was there before.
Yep, he was in day before, day during, day
Yeah.
after, and even like, you know, this past week, I
Yeah.
got in touch with him.
And
Just to make sure everything was okay,
Mm.
because that was my first thought when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, is it
Yeah,
something wrong with
did get
irrigation? But looking further, that one was never replaced, yeah.
so that's same back in the, we'll have it. 579. And that just came up, that's right.
Yep.
And then the files,
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
we've got to tell us.
It's the same pepper species.
What's another mouth we're thinking?
Hmm.
What's my eyebrows again?
Eyeballs.
Yeah, we have cash.
You guys are not gonna like this. So, a Google search of 30-gallon viburnum plant price, they come in at about $200 a plant. And we're gonna pay almost 3 times that. to
That's
have-
labor too.
I understand.
Mhm.
Delivery, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you work with a spoon,
Yeah.
it's really slow.
And they warranty the plants.
The warranty for how long?
1 year.
1 year
Yeah.
until it dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, those were. existing.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess some of them are 300, some of them are.
Yeah.
Okay.
And once.
Prices vary. Here's one for $3.99.
An issue anymore.
And it's from like
It's
Home
not
Depot
on
versus.
the wall,
National.
Yeah, comes with a warranty. You don't get a warranty online, that's for darn sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but we'll do our very best to protect the investment at all costs.
Mhm. Okay, all right. Motion to approve the 30-gallon by Brandon for the price previously stated. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Kevin seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries.
So for that little section at the pool, where we flooded before many times,
Yep.
this should be printed in color and I didn't. print
Was this the
it.
flooded area?
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
plants that died after
Like
the
in
salt
between.
water got into it.
Yeah. So Jesse came up with, was it fire
That's railroad vine,
railroad line,
yeah, so that's a Florida friendly plant,
get purple.
that should be purple, yeah. So-
What's it called?
Like,
Yeah, look up
railroad line.
yeah, railroad vine.
Every other time. I print it in color.
Same when I did it too.
Faster.
I didn't realize it was something like that.
It isn't.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Does it continuously flower or does it have a seasonal flowering?
free flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, it really
This is cool.
depends. But it's really good at covering spaces really well, and it does really well in like hard borders. If you have it, I mean, it crawls over dunes,
Mhm.
so it can take like normal soil all the way to complete sand. I feel like it's a good spot to highlight some Florida friendly plants, but
Mhm.
keeping it contained.
Mhm.
So it's not sending out runners the whole time, and then you're constantly trying to like pack it away. I feel like it would behave itself in this
Gotcha.
kind of bed,
Okay.
you know, and it might be a nice, I liked it because when we first talked about that area, I was imagining something taller. But
Mhm.
then I thought for safety reasons, you might want something a little bit lower
Well,
visually.
so the parents
in
can see
between
the other
pools,
pools.
just in case.
That makes sense.
So,
Gives a good color pop too.
yeah, I kind of like that. I have it at my other communities and does really well. And I know what to look out for in terms of pests. Occasionally it does get spider mites, but actually it's the southern red mites. And it's really easy to treat, so it's something that if it does have a pest, I mean, it's pretty easy to treat.
Thank
But I'm a huge fan of it. I'm starting to see it a lot more.
And it's Florida friendly.
It's a native, yeah. It's in the morning glory family, so it has that kind of like bell-shaped purple flower. That's really pretty.
What's the cost of that?
$840.12. How many do we have to put in?
If there's 30. Yeah.
30?
Mhm. The bed itself is like 33 feet long, 4 feet wide.
Yeah, it's a big bed.
Yeah.
Was that? What now?
Hemp,
Put it in
we
hemp.
cannot put hemp.
Yeah.
There.
We'll consider it.
It is Florida friendly.
That would be some really interesting community
How
thoughts
is-
about why we're growing marijuana at the pool.
What's?
How resilient is it
Yeah, but
when
look at the
there's a
money
kid that's
you
gonna
guys
step on
have.
it? I mean,
It's pretty resilient. I mean, it's not
I know
like,
everything.
it's not made for foot traffic.
Yeah, yeah.
But if
Yeah.
it can take beach conditions where it's getting like
Yeah.
whipped by the
Yeah.
wind and whatever
Okay.
weather, and it still bounces back. If a kid, you know, breaks it open or whatever, or steps on it, I mean, it's, to my knowledge, I don't think it's toxic. It doesn't have thorns, it's not anything that's
Oh, yeah.
gonna hurt them, I don't think.
Yeah,
it
he
would-
doesn't want it because it doesn't have.
It doesn't have thorns, I don't want it.
And I think if you
Yeah.
step on it,
Yeah.
it actually might, I mean. It's one of those plants, it's a fast growing vine,
Right.
so I don't think it would
Okay.
really be damaged if it was, you know, stepped on or pulled out or anything. It's not very
We need 30 of them and that's like $28 a plant, which is about the market rate, so I'm good with that.
And that's also extra soil.
I mean, market rate is much cheaper than that. I demand a rebate.
I'll consider it.
All right, Scott, since you got the paper, you wanna make the motion?
Yeah, motion to approve $840.12 to install 30 plants at the pool, rectangular bed.
He seconds, open for discussion. So this is gonna be kind of flat, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and honestly, kids don't really walk through that, you know, I know exactly where that is.
It's like a viewing area, and then
Yeah.
it goes down a little bit, and then there's some flax lily below
Yeah,
it.
I mean, they walk on the sides I see, but never in.
Yeah, I think the height of them, the tallest I've ever seen them is like, be that tall.
Oh, yeah, not
They're
bad.
pretty. they're
So they'll
pretty
stay
big.
contained in that bed.
It's not like
Yeah.
bougainvillea where it's like
Yeah,
constantly reaching.
and
and you're
it's the
constantly-
kind of look that you don't want to put your feet in there anyways.
Right.
You know what you're gonna
What's
get,
gonna be-
you know,
Stand spider mites.
Yeah, you never.
spider snakes, all, you're like, oh, that's good, looks good.
I mean, if everyone else is good with that design, then
Yeah.
I'm good. So,
Yeah.
unless you got anything else that you want to dream up and put in there. Like, you can get creative with the landscape.
I like this one, I think this would be
Yeah,
good. for it.
okay.
I think.
The problem is you
it's
can't see the,
simple.
Yeah.
but you can see the color on
Simple
there.
design.
Yeah,
Go
purple.
for
Yeah,
it.
that's right. It's
And it gives, it adds some color to a big whitewash area.
It's gonna look
And it's
good.
sort of friendly, which we're trying to do more of, so I
Yeah.
think it hits a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Agreed.
Cool.
We vote?
Cute, right?
Yeah, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye, any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Patty, what you got?
This one, we're gonna hold off until next month.
Okay.
Okay,
This one, that was not ready.
Okay.
all right, is that it?
That's it.
Great, let's see, let's just back to my agenda. All right, so that is all the new business. We have any old business, anything from the last meeting?
No.
No. At this time, we open the floor to resident comments. Anyone in the audience or online wanna
Just a question about, you mentioned about repairs before.
repairs?
I don't know if this is repetitive, but the concrete slabs going around the lake,
Those are CDD.
towards the, it's the other. But I think it's the way to get word to them, I guess, probably representatives, whatever. Yeah, just around the far end of it is like cracked, raised, slabs over there.
Yeah.
And I think some of it might be left over from when you had tree damage.
Mm.
If there was storm, but some of them were cracked. And it just, probably that.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Mhm.
All right, Patty, please contact CMD and.
Check the neighbors on that.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead. Come on, come closer so we can hear you, please.
I'm thinking about violation of my house.
The what is it?
He received a violation, so Jen is gonna give a little update on it.
So there were violations that he had. It went first, second, it went to the finding committee approved to have finding done. And he came to the office to say that he was working on it
Okay,
and since then has worked on it.
okay.
Yeah, I already work on that, and the reason that I took so many time is I went out during the holidays, so that's
Mhm.
why. I'm from Mexico, so I spent like a month or so out of the country. And that's the only reason that I
Okay.
want to explain here.
Do we have like pictures of what he's done?
The new ones, yes, I just didn't get
Okay.
them printed because I haven't stuck out of this, but I can get them.
You can find them. You can watch Chief Morgan. So next week, the maintenance company is starting, February 1st is their
Mhm.
meeting with them tomorrow after our appointment tomorrow morning at 9. I'll meet them at 1 and they'll show all the things that we need done. If you look in the work order report, under the work orders, you can see everything that I have them doing so far.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it slowly so I don't scare them.
Mhm.
So did you want to be the liaison for that too?
I can't, I'm fine with that. Kind of falls with same territory.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So then we need a security liaison also. I'm just gonna go around and see if I can get everybody covered, right? So, Jen,
I don't think so much we need a security liaison. I think
no?
we're good there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they send their updates,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll see those.
Do you get all that information? Because I know you just signed on to the account.
No, I didn't get the,
You didn't, okay, I'll make sure that you're on.
okay, thank you.
Because it goes to the whole board. And
It's heavy southern accent, makes people nervous.
Mhm.
It scared people. You're gonna get copied on the. Okay. And then next week, Wednesday at 10:30?
While we wait for Jen to print those pictures, is there any other, we'll put that on the side burner. Is there any other residents that have anything they want to add or say? We'll come right back to you, sir.
How are you?
Good evening. This is Dallas Varwig. I'd have a question for you guys if you have a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you.
Hi. I am finishing up a pool project in my what I have of a backyard. It leaves very little room around the outside, and I was trying to entertain the idea of doing artificial turf because I have large dogs and there's no grass that will survive that. Sorry if this question has been brought up or discussed ad nauseum before. First time attendee for the meetings, but I was curious if this has been approved in the past, if it was previously allowed, if it's something that is being entertained or discussed.
So the question is about artificial turf in your backyard.
Yes, it would be turf in the backyard. It would be surrounded by hedges, not visible to anybody or the street.
Yeah, I would say put in the ARC request for it and send it to the ARC board.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of way Florida law works right now is that if you can't see it from the street and your neighbors can't see it, then it's good to go.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, so put your ARC request in and then the ARC board, they may disapprove it. Don't be disheartened. Just bring it to the board.
just appeal it if they do that.
Yeah. I'll talk to Tom.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Any other residents? We're just waiting for Jennifer.
You know.
Sorry, these are the pictures.
All right, let's see, what do we got?
So it was talking about the weeds in the landscaping beds and stuff like that, so you can see they've.
So that was the complaint.
Mhm. I thought I printed it, but it's very hard to see in this, but
That's
you can
okay.
see kind of.
It's like the before, yeah, I can see it's kind of grown over with like crabgrass and all, and then they did a nice job. cleaning it.
They
Okay,
pulled the weeds out of the
Yeah.
lawns that were in there,
Mhm.
so.
Okay. So he's looking for a waiver on the fine, is that correct? Okay.
Yep.
And he made the correction. Look, we don't want your money, we just want you to fix it. So I motion to waive the fines implemented by the fining committee. Is there a second?
Right here.
They haven't charged anything yet, right?
It is on their account.
All right, yeah, no, you did a nice job cleaning it up, it looks very nice.
Sorry, I just opened it up.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nope.
None opposed, motion carries. Thanks for coming out, sir.
Yeah, thank you,
And thank you for fixing it too.
yeah, we appreciate you doing that, thank you.
Thank you. I will try to keep it as it's.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, have a great night.
Any other community comments?
That's what it is.
Oh, in the back, can you come
Yes,
closer
sir.
so everybody can hear you?
What I like from the choice to work to roll over the HOA funds.
That was part of the annual meeting earlier.
Okay,
Yes.
so I didn't know which HOA because we pay two HOAs, so the master HOA or the West Lake,
All of them.
all of them.
Mhm.
So how much we talking about?
It was under 10% of the annual budget, so less than 10,000, 8,000.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, what was the sub, so the master, it was about 100, it was under 100,000, so it was like 80. What was the other HOA?
West.
West.
Westlake specifically? They were actually negative last
Yeah,
year, so.
Yeah.
There's no carryover for them.
There's no carryover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
We wish they had a
you're basically
carryover.
voting for the master.
Okay.
the
It was
master,
not clear in the thing which HOA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the vote went through, it carried to roll it over so that we don't have any tax implications.
All right. No.
yeah, it's just anything that's rolled over that's not voted on by the community, we have to pay normal income tax on it. So we're trying to avoid paying income tax on everybody's assessed value for no reason. So if it's not budgeted and we have extra, we're gonna apply it to the things like the pool being repaired this year, things like that.
Perfect, thank you for coming out.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Other community comments? Board member comments, anything you want to put on the agenda for next month, anything you want to talk about, or anything you want Patty to look into?
Doing a good job.
I have one thing,
That's why it was led that way.
and I would like to curtail some of the nefarious activity that occurs in our parking lot. So what I'd like to do is talk about putting either bollards or some sort of chain to close, that a security company will close our parking lot at night.
Mhm.
For those that don't know, Luther and some of the, mainly Luther,
Mhm.
because he works 5 nights a week, often has to go to the back of the parking lot and kick people out for various things. Just last night, he had to do it, and some of them are not too happy about it. And I worry about his safety, going up
Yeah.
and tapping on tinted windows
Yeah.
and saying, hey, you gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
But it only happens in the back of the parking lot. Nobody wants to park right up on the building and do the things that they're trying to do in the back of the parking lot. So
That's a
just
really-
something
it's a
to
really
think
good
about.
idea.
I know one of the cons I thought about was people come to use the gym at
Right.
night. And so
And it's-
if there's a way we can orchestrate maybe block off, like as soon as you enter the circle, block off the left.
yeah,
And then block off right here, so the only parking spots
Yeah.
available right in front,
yeah,
something like that, something to think about.
where it's lighted and
Are
visible.
these kids primarily or no?
It's all
Mixture.
ages, honestly. Yeah, there's people in their 20s, 30s. Various different things. Some people just, some people are just, oh, I'm just looking for a place to hang out and just sitting there smoking. Other people are doing other things.
I do have a call into Tico to meet with them to brighten
To
the.
brighten the lights, yeah, we're gonna brighten the lights in the parking lot. So that was it, something to think
That
about.
would probably be the way to go.
Yeah.
So it doesn't restrict any.
Yeah, motion lights.
Mhm.
But that's all. That's all I had. Any other comments from anybody?
No.
Henry, anything? You've been quiet.
Nope, nothing from me.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, this time motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for attending. Thanks for coming.